Hello and welcome to the show. I am your host, Obinna Emeka. You are tuned into IMI Radio, and this is Anything and Everything, the show where no topic is off limits and every perspective is explored. And today we are diving into the deeper waters of uncertainty. Uncertainty, as we've come to know, is the shadow that trails every decision. The question mark at the end of our plans. It is the unknown that we face every day. It is every aspect of our lives. But here's the thing: uncertainty isn't something to fear. It is something to embrace. It is the fertile ground where knowledge grows, where curiosity thrives, and where the seeds of wisdom are sown. On this journey today, we'll be looking at it from various perspectives, and we'll be trying to come to terms with the fact that we cannot know everything, but at the same time, we shouldn't give up because we can't know everything to not know anything. And so here we will take a musical break, and when we come back, we'll delve into the topic properly. We'll be listening to Oreos. It is too soon to know. We just listened to the song, Is It Too Soon to Know? It's a question we all would forever continue to ask: what should be known, what shouldn't be known, how we come to know, and how we make peace with our own level of uncertainty in our world and in our times. There's barely any human path that is not trailed with the idea of uncertainty. What becomes of us? What becomes of what we can do? What becomes of what we cannot do? How do we come out of such web? How do we come out of such dilemma as to what can be known, what cannot be known, what should be known, what shouldn't be known, and is there even anything that shouldn't be known, or are there certain things that we shouldn't, bother ourselves trying to know? These are the questions we would be asking ourselves, and that is it. The song, is it too soon to know? It remains a classic, and it reminds us that sometimes it is okay not to have all the answers. Now let's talk about the making of peace with, uncertainty. In a world that's constantly, changing, how do we get to find, our footing? How do we get to find where we rest our case and try to, calm our nerves down? How do we keep moving when, the path ahead is shrouded in this mist of we not coming to know? How do we go about such? How do we live as a people, knowing fully well that we don't know everything and we cannot even come to know everything, and these things are not so easy. But then the first start here is acceptance. We must accept that we cannot control everything. We must learn to ride the waves of change, to adapt and to, be resilient. And on the path of resilience, it remains a powerful tool going forward. It is about bouncing back, about finding strength in adversity. And speaking of strength, let's take a moment, to think about how strong we are without even we coming to know. Sometimes we don't know how strong we are until we are in a particular situation that warrants us to be strong. Sometimes we don't know how powerful we are until we are tasked with a particular challenge, and there we come to see how powerful we can be or how weak we as a people can be. But I tell you for free, we are more powerful than we think. We are not weak. We are very strong. And it matters the way we go about our daily activities. But sometimes we won't be able to, really come to terms with such a fact that, we as a people can exhibit such amount of strength, such amount of, courage, until you find yourself in a situation where you have no choice than, just to almost be alive. And speaking of strength, let's take a moment to enjoy a song that embodies the spirit of pushing through the unknown. It is a song by The Blondie, I Know, But I Don't Know. No. I know, but I don't know. Imagine that. But that's the reality of our life. What can we for sure say we know? Absolutely. Can we really say that? Can we really, talk about our pursuit of truth, our pursuit of knowledge and all that, and how to make peace with such. Now, pursuing knowledge, it is a journey fraught with uncertainty, isn't it? It doesn't give room for, that full level of assurance and the likes of that. But this song, I Know, But I Don't Know, by Blondie, captures, the essence of moving forward, even when the way isn't clear. And that's all there is to, our coming to pursuing life, our coming to move on with ourselves, our coming to move on with the daily things we tend to do as a people. Because the pursuit of knowledge is laced with all manner and all forms of uncertainty, and we cannot know for sure what we are supposed to do and what we are not supposed to do. So we just make peace with the much we come to know, while also trying our very best to see that we move forward as a people. That's the most important thing. We mustn't back down. We mustn't give up on our journey to come to know the differences and the difficulties of our life. We make peace with the fact that we can know and at the same time not know. But even at that, we move on. We strive to be perfect and the likes of that. And this song captures everything. The pursuit of knowledge, it's a journey into the unknown. You don't know. If you know, you won't be bothered about these things. But it is the fact that you don't know that makes you want to know. It is about asking questions, seeking answers, and sometimes finding more questions ahead. Isn't that what our lives all embody? Isn't that what our existence seemingly is? Where we come to a world just as though we are going to a cinema. We go to the cinema late. The movie is already screening. We don't know how the movie started. And we cannot ask anybody because it is an individual invitation here, and everybody is also trying to figure out how the movie is going, because they also came into the scene halfway. They didn't come from the very beginning, and so they are also left with this difficulty of trying to figure out what the whole movie is about. And the funniest part of it is that everybody would leave before the movie actually ends. Everybody's going to leave at a particular time when the movie is still going on, and that's life. You come into life without your own making, and you make meaning out of it as you go, because that quote by St. Augustine still keeps me thinking every time. God who made us without us cannot save us without us. It is a serious quote. If it holds sway for Christians, from the Christian's perspective, it can also hold sway for you. That this life that is like a cinema where we come in halfway and we'll still leave halfway would remain a mystery to us in many ways and in many facets. And it falls on us to try to figure out what our lives would become in relation to these realities where we get to find ourselves of, seemingly not knowing everything And it is that endless circle of inquiry that drives humanity forward. That idea that we don't know everything and we want to know. That is what drives us. That is what pushes us forward, because we cannot just make peace with uncertainty and just want to allow everything slide and everything stay there as though everything is all fine. No, life cannot just go that way. Life can be much more better, and it is to such we must look up to as a people. It is to such we must seek peace with the fact that we can be uncertain while seeking for truth. And even in our levels of uncertainty, we still trudge on, knowing fully well that we can know better if we give it a chance. If we give it a chance, we can know better. And sometimes the most profound discoveries come from, the most uncertain beginnings. Here again, we take another musical break and we'll be listening to Charlie Rich. Who will the next who be? After you get rid of me, who will the next who be? It's the question we are called to ask ourselves by, Charlie Rich in this song. It speaks to the predictability of life's next turn. Now let's talk about the truth of uncertainty. Is it just a concept? It is not just a concept. It is a reality that we will live with. How do we find peace with that? How do we find peace with uncertainty? How do we make peace with the fact that we cannot know everything and we would never come to know everything? How do we make peace with that? For me, it's given me a sense of relief, because if I should know that in 5-6 years time I'll be so and so, I won't be so bothered as to do my due diligence today. If I know that in 6 years time, 7 years time I'll be happily married or I'll be long dead, do you think I will want to do the work I want to do now? Because whether I do what I want to do or I don't do what I want to do, I would still be what I would be in 6 years' time. And that's where the whole idea of people scrambling to, get to know the future, get to know what's happening in the long run, leaves me worried as to how we as a people have been disturbed so long by uncertainty, and we've not made peace with that. All forms of knowledge, all forms of beliefs rest on the assumption that there can be something else. Because we are limited, and it is the way forward, it is the way we ought to go, and it is the way we should go. We can wake up tomorrow and discover that all what we've held as truths, as belief systems, are all but illusions that leave us hanging and standing on different pedestals and the likes of that. And sometimes some persons don't want to accept that reality that, knowledge and the quest for knowledge demands that we move on. We try our very best daily to see through it that we get better at whatever we are doing. And in getting better at whatever we're doing, we come to terms with our limitations. And this is where the real deal is, making peace with uncertainty. Uncertainty gives us this unconscious sense of discipline and this unconscious sense of, waking up day by day, every day, wanting to be better, wanting to do more than what we did yesterday in our quest for knowledge. If we come to terms with uncertainty, our life would not be redundant. Our life would not be, just waking up and sitting down, as opposed to if our request of getting to know everything is placed right before us. So for me as a person, uncertainty breaks me the same way as free will does. I cannot come to terms with the fact that I don't have free will, but at the same time, there are a whole lot of things out there pointing to the fact that there might not be free will. But then even me saying this would be that I didn't say this freely. And then you see these back and forth questions as to what really is the case. So also with uncertainty, it leaves me asking the question, all the things I've come to know, and even the way I'm communicating now, am I really sure that these things I'm saying are the truth? Or they are just a result of the consequence of the context of my life and the likes of that? These are the type of questions I get to ask myself, and these are the things that get to strike me deeply. And these two, free will and uncertainty, allows me wake up every day with renewed zeal to try to make sense out of my life, to try to make sense out of my existence, to try to make sense out of the deeds that have become my reality, and try to make peace with that, and then try to see how I can forge ahead and move ahead and try to see how things can get better for me as a person. And, living in the moment becomes our only option. Living now, not really caring about what tomorrow brings, because I can tell you for free, tomorrow would be a product of what we make of yesterday in relation to today into tomorrow. And that is it. We should live in the moment. That sentiment that, this is all that we have today. We're not promised tomorrow. We're all given just for today. And it is a perfect way into our next song, a tune that is all about hanging on, even when you are not sure what you are hanging onto. We're listening to Hanging on the String from Loose Ends. Our ability to hang on in times of difficulties and in times of problems gets to tell us how strong we can be and how well we can live our life and forge on in this world of great levels of uncertainty and great levels of unknowing and the likes of that. Hanging on a string by loose ends, it offers us how we get to move up as a people, how we get to see life, how we should see life. How should we see life? We should see life as a gift given to us on different scales. It remains a reality that we have to make meaning out of our own existence. We have to make meaning of how we go forward and how we push forward. And that's what matters. That's how we ought to see these things. That's how we ought to do these things. And we continue to, push on, see how we can make sense out of life and sense out of our existence and the likes of such. That is what is left for us to do. If we just sit down and think, life can all be figured out without our own efforts, without our own desire to push forward and push on, we will be highly disappointed, and it won't be a good thing to do. It remains our task, it remains our responsibility to help ourselves, and in helping ourselves here, we get to, ask questions where we are confused, continue to interrogate the answers we think we've come to be given or we found as people. We come to question our truth claims and all the things we've come to hold as truth, because it is in doing this that we get to know that, there can be something even outside our reality, outside our current situation as a people. And that's all there is. That's all there is. How do we look forward as we, think of our lives? How do we make peace with the lives of others? Because we also find out that in the course of our living down here on earth, we meet people also with different forms of beliefs, and how do they interact with their own reality? How do they respond to us? And how do we keep peace within our souls, knowing fully well that, most of these persons are also struggling with uncertainty. Most of them also get to hold beliefs that are alien to us, that are different from our own kind of belief, and live with that too, because as much as we think we are struggling with coming to know, they also are struggling with coming to know too. And how they get to come to know is a thing we cannot really say, and how we come to know is sometimes is also a thing they cannot really say. And we'll just be left hanging there and the likes of such. As we, move towards a possible wrap-up of our show, let's reflect on how we as a people can look forward and keep peace in our souls amidst the uncertainties and the unknowing of the future. How do we go from here? Hope. Hope. Hope is the only way we can forge ahead. Hope is the compass that guides us through, the fog of uncertainty. It is a belief that no matter what happens, we have the strength to face it. No matter what happens, hope remains our surest anchor in a world of uncertainty. In the reality that we cannot know, we can only but hope that what we believe and what we've come to accept and what we've been given is the truth. That is how we make peace with this. That is how we forge ahead. When we hope, we don't give up the search for better meanings and better forms of life. We just slow down. We slow down and we make peace, and yet we come back again. We come back again believing that, no matter what happens, we will figure it out in the course of our life. And even if we don't figure it out, it's not so bad as we think. Hope. It is what keeps us going. Hope. It is what gives life meaning. Hope. It is all there is to hold on to. It is what we have to hold on to if we must live in this world with our current situations, with our current levels of uncertainty. It is the way to go. It is the way we must go. Hope. Hope that when tomorrow comes, it will be better than our situation is. Hope that as we lay to bed to sleep, that our souls and our bodies will be kept. And when we wake, we pick it up from there and we continue again and again, forging forward, forging on, pushing further and further, trying our best as much as we can to see that we don't make the past become our residence and the future our place of fortress. Hope gives us a sense of, living in the now, living in the moment and holding on to that. Giving us that assurance that where we are, we can make the best out of it from the lessons of the past in relation to the lessons we can learn from such now into the future. Hope does all of this, my people. Hope does all of this, my brothers and sisters. Hope does this for everybody. And it is the way we must go. When you are sitting down there with your cancer, when you are sitting down there with your financial crisis, when you are sitting down there with your life shattered, with your hopes battered, with all your dreams scattered, and your life is in tatters, and you don't know what to do, you don't know how to forge ahead. Hope comes calling you out of such darkness, out of such place of despair, out of such sad place. Hope comes giving you the assurance that even in uncertainties, you can still find meaning. Hope comes promising that tomorrow will be better. And even if when we get to tomorrow, it is not all that rosy and all that better, hope must have played its job, must have played its role. It must have helped you through the day. It must have, come with renewed resilience, and it must have told you, take it easy, my friend. Take it easy. Life goes on. Don't take life too serious, because none of us is going to live here alive, is a popular saying. But even at that, we still have to take life serious. We still have to climb, because what becomes of life if we don't wake up each morning with renewed hope, with renewed zeal, trying to see to it that we forge ahead, we move ahead as a people, and we try to grow. How do we know that we can survive the night? That is where Miley Cyrus comes in with the song, The Climb. This song embodies hope, the belief in a brighter tomorrow, despite the uncertainties of today. what do we make of our lives? What do we make of the way we go? How do we come to see ourselves in the face of all of this? How do we meet ourselves, and how do we accept the reality of the fact that how do we make peace with the reality of what our life has become, what our life can be outside the realms that we've come to accept as our reality and the likes of that? It is difficult enough to be alive, more difficult to try to figure out what life is. But it is very sad to, give up on the prospect of trying to make sense out of life. Most persons have given up their struggles to see that life comes out better, comes out stronger, and the likes of that. And it is very sad that people go that far to, tell themselves they can no longer move forward, they can no longer forge ahead, and they can't grow, they can't move forward if they don't look beyond their present situation, they don't look beyond their present predicament and the likes of such. Today we have been, talking about uncertainty. And as we bring today's journey through the realms of this same uncertainty to a close, I want to leave you with a few parting thoughts. That uncertainty is not just a shadow lurking in the corners of our decisions. It is the very essence of our existence. It is the canvas upon which the earth of life is painted in all its vibrant colors and shades. Throughout today's show, we have explored the many facets of uncertainty. We have danced to the tunes that reminds us of life's unpredictable nature and delved into conversations that challenge us to embrace the unknown with open arms. From the song "It's Too Soon to Know" to the climb, each song has been a musical echo of our team, resonating with the heartbeat of hope and the rhythm of resilience. Remember, therefore, my friends, that making peace with uncertainty doesn't mean giving up or seeking answers. It means having the courage, to ask questions, the strength to face the unknown, and the wisdom to know that sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. The journey sometimes is more important than the destination. The journey, it's more important than the destination. It is what we have to come to terms with, that the journey sometimes, my people, is more important than the destination. And so as we go about, our daily lives henceforth, let us carry with us the spirit of today's show. Let the music we've heard be a soundtrack to our exploration of the uncertain paths we tread. And let the words we have shared be a compass that guides us through the fog of doubt and fear. So until we meet again, keep your head held high and your heart open to the endless possibilities that lie ahead. Keep seeking, keep dreaming, and above all, keep the flame of hope burning bright within you. This is Obinemeka, your guide and your host through the everything and anything of life. Your host for today's show. Anything and everything on IMI Radio, Warsaw. Signing off from IMI Radio. May your day be filled with curiosity, joy, and the peace that comes from knowing that in the grand tapestry of life, every thread of uncertainty is woven with purpose and potential.
Got a fast car, and I want to get to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. But me, myself, I got nothing to prove. And I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working at the convenience store. Managed to save just a little bit of money. We won't have to drive too far. Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs and finally see what it means to be living. Got a problem. He lived with a bottle, that's the way it is. He says his body's too old for working. His body's too young to look like his. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I say somebody's got to take care of him. So I quit school and that's what I did. Got a fast car, so fast enough so we can fly away. We gotta make a decision. We leave tonight or live and die this way. 'Cause I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. We go cruise and entertain ourselves. You still ain't got a job. Now work in the market as a checkout girl. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll get promoted. We'll move out of the shelter, buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs. 'Cause I remember when we were driving in your car. So fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belonged, and I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. I got a job that pays all our bills. You stay out drinking late at the bar, seeing more your friends than you do your kids. I always hope for better, but maybe together you and me find it. I got no plans, I ain't going nowhere. Take a fast car and keep on driving. I remember when we were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I I belonged, and I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car, is it fast enough so you can fly away? You gotta make a decision. You leave tonight or live and die this way.